Hello and welcome to 11 News Sunday Morning. We'll get to all of our top stories and more in just a moment. But first, let's take a look outside with meteorologist Dalencia Jenkins. It is cloudy right now. I don't know how much fun Jen's having at the beach.
You know, at the beach it's probably a little better the farther east you go in the state. But here in the city, we are looking at quite a bit of cloud cover. May see a peak of sunshine here and there, but if you want better weather today, you actually want to head towards the beaches. We're looking at a nice warm morning as well. Temperatures are in the 80s at BWI Marshall and downtown, 82 in Westminster, 80 in Frederick, and we're looking on the Eastern Shore. That's where temperatures are in the 80s and 70s as well. So we're going to continue to see these temperatures warm up just a little bit. With the cloud cover, we're not going to warm up into those 90-degree ranges across the region, but we do have another chance of showers and thunderstorms. Where you're seeing the darker green shades, that is where we could see the more severe storms setting up. You want to be ready for some damaging wind and localized flash flooding later on this afternoon. I'll time out those storms for you in more detail in your full forecast.
Coming up this morning, if you're worrying about inflation and rising costs, you're not alone. We speak with a local financial expert about how you can feel a little bit more secure with your money when we come back. Plus, Dalencia, I saw outside, the clouds are not making me feel very secure.
Yeah, you know, that's somehow the weather can affect your mood. It's that psychology with weather. We're going to have some cloudy skies. You may see a peak of sunshine, but the main weather story is going to be the storms that could possibly move through the region. I'll tell you more about those after the break.
Now, your WBAL-TV 11 weather forecast with meteorologist Dalencia Jenkins.
Good morning and happy Sunday. We have a chance for some showers and thunderstorms yet again into the afternoon. Where we're seeing the darker shade of green, that's where some of those more severe storms can set up over the Baltimore metro. But as they try to make their way farther eastward, that's where it's going to lose steam and decrease in severity. And then so even as we move into the Eastern Shore, that's where even the chance for thunderstorms is very low. So if you want better weather later on this afternoon, you got to go on to the Eastern Shore. But if you get caught in some of these showers and thunderstorms between the afternoon and evening hours, be prepared for some damaging wind and some localized flash flooding, because in some of these storms, lots of rain, those heavy downpours can be possible. So just keep that in mind as we move throughout the rest of the day. Right now it is quiet, just cloudy across much of the area. Looking at a few showers probably bubbling up for parts south of the metro. So just keep in mind that most of the area is going to be dry today. It's just warm and humid. So looking at 81 at BWI Marshall, 83 downtown, 82 in Westminster, 79 in Hereford and along the Eastern Shore, mixture of the 70s and 80s. We're going to warm up to the mid to upper 80s, so 87 for Baltimore, 88 in Westminster, 89 in Frederick for this afternoon, sticking around the 70s along the coastline there in Ocean City, where it's typically a little cooler, but you'll see a mix of sun and clouds before that chance of rain really starts to move in. So after that 12 p.m. hour, I would expect some storms to start bubbling up, but a line of storms ahead of the cold front that will kick off all of the thunderstorm activity will start to move in closer to dinner time and lose steam as it moves closer to the city. But don't be surprised if the parts of the region closer to the city gets in on that strong wind and heavy rain with some of those storms. And then moving into tomorrow, another dry start to the day, but then another chance of storms in the afternoon. Looking at our forecast for the game today, first pitch at 1:35. It's going to be cloudy, and again, we could have that chance for rain, so make sure you have the WBAL app with you. That way you can stay up to date on weather alerts and even take a peek at radar and see where those storms and showers are bubbling up around you. Looking at 87 for Baltimore. That's why we have an impact icon on, because of those chances for storms. And then that evening unsettled weather pattern will continue into our new work week.
Live, local, late breaking. This is WBAL-TV 11 News Sunday morning.
Good morning and welcome back to 11 News Sunday Morning. Thanks for joining us. We'll get to our top stories and more in just a moment. But It is cloudy outside,
Yes.
and it's looking more like a movie day, not a pool day.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, it's dry right now for most of the state. So if you don't mind a little clouds in the pool, then okay, you may be able to make it. But it is hot and humid, but there's storms on the way. So if you do start hearing those rumbles of thunder, that's when you need to head in from whatever you're doing outside. Looking at our radar and satellite, some showers are starting to kick off into like central Baltimore County, but that's about all that we're seeing. It's mainly dry across the region right now. Our temperatures, again, it is a little warm as we're starting off the mornings. 82 at BWI Marshall, 83 downtown, 78 in Bel Air, 79 in Hereford, in the 80s along the eastern shore. Now those thunderstorms setting up mainly in the west. So western Maryland, western portions of the Baltimore metro, that darker green shade here, that's where some of those severe storms could set up, and you want to be prepared for damaging wind and localized flash flooding in some of those thunderstorms. So we'll talk more about what we can expect this afternoon and evening and for our new work week ahead in a few minutes.
Now, your WBAL-TV 11 weather forecast with meteorologist Dalencia Jenkins.
Good morning and happy Sunday. We're looking at a chance of showers and thunderstorms yet again for this afternoon. The dark green shade here, that's where we can see the more severe storms setting up in the state. So that includes much of western Maryland and the western parts of the Baltimore metro. Now, as those storms try to make their way farther eastward, that's where it's going to lose steam, lose its severity. And so if you want better weather across the Maryland, you got to head to the beaches. So that's also always nice to hear. So if you happen to get caught into some of those storms in the afternoon and evening, damaging wind can be expected and some localized flash flooding because these storms will really have a lot of moisture in them, and so we could see some heavy downpours within some of these storms. Now right now, relatively dry for much of the region. There is a line of showers starting to pop up across much of the Maryland central part. It's really a line that just slices through the area, so you may be getting in on a shower here and there, but relatively dry for much of the region. And we're just looking at cloudy skies, humid conditions, and warming temperatures. So right now our temperature is 82 at BWI Marshall, 83 downtown, 82 in Westminster as well, and 80 in Hereford along the eastern shore, in the low 80s, the 70s in the higher elevations. Now moving into this afternoon, we'll be close to the 90s, flirting with the 90s if you will. Looking at 87 for Baltimore, 89 in Westminster and in Frederick, a mix of sun and clouds, so not too much sunshine will be seen throughout the day today. But again, we just want to be on the lookout for our chances for showers. You see it there moving in from the west, and so it could really lose its steam as it moves closer to the city. But don't be surprised if some of those thunderstorms do spill into the city area and you do start to hear some rumbles of thunder there. If you're headed to the game, mostly cloudy during first pitch at Camden Yards. 1:35 is the time for the first pitch. Temperatures will be in the 80s. Have the WBAL app close by. That way you can stay up to date on weather alerts and take a peek at radar to see where those showers are setting up in your region, because it is going to be quite scattered. And then moving into tonight, cloudy skies as temperatures fall back into the 70s, and then we warm up back to the 80s for tomorrow afternoon with yet another chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. That's really going to be the trend over the next few days. Looking at Tuesday, another chance of those showers even into the midweek will dry out as we move closer to the weekend.